So let's confirm then the results of qualifying for this weekend's race. And Sebastian Vettel, look at that. Just as we thought that someone other than a Red Bull was going to be on pole position, Sebastian takes pole by almost half a second. Incredibly, a full second ahead of his teammate Mark Webber. Congratulations to Felipe Massa, he did very well indeed. And Bruno Senna, who's been parachuted into that car, he starts 7th on the grid for this race. Sergio Perez and Vitaly Petrov finish off the top 10 runners, and we can see it was a very difficult Q2 session for Jenson Button. He starts 13th, we'll hear from him in just a moment. Paul di Resta, also a difficult day, we'll find out why he starts 18th in a moment. And you can see 4 drivers outside of the 107% rule, but we're expecting them to be allowed to race. Well, Eddie, that was a cracking session. We saw driver clashing with driver. We saw Lewis Hamilton fighting right till the finish there. A very, very stiff McLaren bouncing around all over the place, but Vettel once again taking that pole position.
There's so many superlatives there, you just don't know where to start. We must start, nevertheless, with a guy who just at the last gasp, Vettel, proving us wrong after the school report that we did. He's still back in pole position, literally in every way. And, you know, that was an amazing lap and a wonderful, wonderful example of what excitement there can be in qualifying.
And there should be tomorrow in the race as well. So Sebastian Vettel, he picks up pole position. But what about the boys behind him? Well, Jenson Button will be really frustrated. He starts 13th, but as you can see, he did his bit for the team. That's Jenson Button pulling over to allow Lewis to go through, and it nearly worked out perfectly as Lewis was on provisional pole. Look at that. Always the team player, but sadly couldn't get his side of the team any higher than 13th. Let's hear from him.
Well, Jenson, it's unusual to see you so soon on a Saturday. What happened out there today?
Misunderstanding. I obviously did my first lap then, and then I cooled the tyres, not knowing that I didn't have any more laps left. So, yeah, and obviously the track's getting drier and drier every lap with so many cars out there. So, I think I was second quickest or third quickest when I did my lap, and then I didn't get the opportunities to do another lap. So, wow, that's massively disappointing and a big shock because obviously in Q1 I was a second quicker than anyone. So, yeah, misunderstanding and a mistake on our part.
And in one moment it looked like you had to yield or you let Lewis through. Was that just to give him some clear air as well?
Yeah, because that was my cool-down lap. I didn't realise that was it. Obviously I would have kept pushing, but yeah, I didn't know that was it. I thought I had another lap. And
it's looking like a dry race tomorrow. How are you set for that then? Were you sort of gambling on today for tomorrow?
No, completely dry setup, but you know, our car is very quick round here, and obviously in every practice session we've had so far we've been in the top 3, so it's been very competitive, and when we've been on the circuit we've been the quickest, so tough being back in 13th, but we've got to deal with it now. Thanks.
And deal with it, I'm sure he will. The first time this season that Jenson Button's not into Q3. He said it was miscommunication. Seems to be the order of the day. Here's Paul di Resta.
Paul, I know you'll be very disappointed with that. What was the problem out there today? Why did it go wrong?
It didn't really. You know, I made a small mistake the lap before, and during that lap we were quite a bit quicker, and the team chose to bring me in saying we were safe and we should box. And when I got back to the pits, they said, we hate to tell you this, but somebody's went quicker. So they called me back to the pits. You know, I'm not aware of the situations going on around me. I just do as I'm ordered. And when I came back, it obviously wasn't there. We chose to sit out the middle part of the session and go out when the conditions were going to be best at the end. You know, I'm quite confident we would definitely have been much further up had that not happened.
So you felt there was much more in the car to give, and you shouldn't be standing here now?
Oh, there's much more. Just a wrong call. Definitely a wrong call.
Another unhappy British boy, but in the last 5 races, the man starting 18th has picked up points, so Paul will be thinking about that. Eddie, very quickly before we go, we saw Michael Schumacher not even manage a lap. We saw Paul di Resta and Jenson Button going out early. Alonso fighting to get into Q3, but the biggest story today, Pastor Maldonado with what looked like a deliberate on-track swipe at Lewis Hamilton.
Well, again, we don't want to just interfere with what the steward's decision, but this looks fairly clear to most people in the commentary box here. It looks as if Maldonado has just ran into the side of him. For whatever reason, we need to know clearly what the explanation is for that.
OK, we'll wait and see, of course. Just to remind you that Nigel Mansell is the driver's representative with the stewards this weekend. He'll be taking a long, hard look at that, and I suppose taking into account all of the various things that it may have been. Now, if you look behind us, you can see Eau Rouge. We've already seen a bit of action, but tomorrow the true action gets going on Eau Rouge up there, and it's so tight at the front. We've got Sebastian Vettel from Lewis Hamilton, Felipe Massa getting in the mix there as well. Mark Webber's up there. What do you expect from tomorrow's Grand Prix?
Well, I've learned a long time ago in Spa, never look for a prediction because it usually turned on its head. This is exciting stuff for tomorrow.
Indeed, but what it does mean, of course, is it's Sebastian Vettel's 9th pole of the year. Red Bull, you can beat them in the race, you just can't beat them to pole position. Bye-bye.